What's up, WTMS sixth graders? Happy Monday. Welcome to Pod. You guys may have not seen me around a whole lot lately. We have some COVID in my household, so everybody's doing okay, but we do miss our students for sure. My wife and I hope you guys at middle school are doing okay. And the good news is there's lots of wonderful staff members at WTMS that can cover any duties that I have, so things are running smooth, but miss your smiling faces. So glad I can at least kind of have some communication via pod with you. Announcements, reminders. So we've been talking about our WTMS core value acronym. The T stands for taking responsibility. Here's a sign that says stop making excuses. It makes me think of the 7 habits that we're covering with you sixth graders now. Remember, habit 1 is be proactive. And so a lot of people here take responsibility and they think of afterwards if they've done something wrong, admitting to it. And that's part of it. But I think I like the be proactive part of it a bit more, just recognizing that you're in charge of your life. And yes, things happen to you that are outside your circle of control. But when you focus on your circle of control as much as you can, life gets a little easier. And so remember, if you think it's always someone else's fault, your circle of control gets smaller. But if you think, hey, I can focus and control my life a little bit, it gets easier for sure. So W, work hard. T, take responsibility. All right. Another announcement. Chromebooks. If you need help with repairs or charging, and your homeroom teacher can't help you with that particular problem, come to me when I'm there, or the library, not the office. Okay, the ladies in the office have been helping us out, and that's great. But we've trained up our librarians, and so they know how to help you. And of course, try to bring them working in charge from home. Don't forget them. But if you need something, either I can help you or the library. Okay. Next. Well, congratulations are in order. Sixth grade teachers thought it would be fun, because all you guys see this in homeroom, to give a shout out to folks that have been named Student of the Week that are doing great things at the sixth grade level. We sure appreciate these guys, including ELA winner for this week, Ariel Barragan, Math Student of the Week, Natalie Castro. Ohani Aguilar is our Science Student of the Week. In Social Studies, Melanie Yepes. And Reading Student of the Week, Naomi Lovelace. And the Choir Drama / Piano Student of the Week. Oh, I cut his name off a little bit with my face. Let's move me out of the way so he can get proper credit. Good job, Eddie Hernandez, who's also in my flex class. Very smart kid. So shout out and congrats to all of those guys doing great things, and for anybody else who's been Student of the Week so far this year. Next, let's talk about where we were for our last lesson. So we've been talking about habit 3, put first things first. And we focused last week on big rocks, our big priorities that, remember, if you put them in your time basket there and take care of them first, you'll make sure that you get them done. If you don't get your priorities done, you may get a little behind on things. So we talked about your time management skills. All right. So make sure you're making time for your big rocks. This is the second half of habit 3, called the courage zone. You've probably heard the phrase comfort zone, where you like to just stay in an area of things that you've done this before. I know these friends, I've been in these classes, I've played these sports, so you feel more comfortable there. You got to spend some time like this cool superhero dude here in the courage zone. So this is the other half of habit 3. We are just finishing up what's called the private victory. The rest of the habits are really focused on how you interact with other people. But before you do that, we got to win the private victory first. So we talked about habit 1 says that you are the passenger or driver of your life. Not the passenger, Habit 2, begin with the end of the mind, says since you're the driver, decide where to go and draw a map of how to get there. Finally, habit 3 says put first things first. Now get there. Don't let roadblocks knock you off course. All right. So this other part of habit 3, you want to say hi, Soy Boy? Come here. Come say hi. We have a little visitor. Maybe he wants to make the video with us. All right. Yeah. So the other half, he doesn't. All right, buddy. The other half of habit 3 involves some things that could get in the way of your big rocks. And they are fear, failure, and peer pressure. Things that after you say, I've identified what I want to do, what my priorities are, what could prevent me from making these things happen, could be these 3 things. All right. First off, fear. So we have fear from inside out there. And if you were here in pod with me, like I'm in pod, if this was normal, I'd be asking all my super nerds out there if they know who that guy is. That would be Scarecrow an interesting Batman villain who used some fear toxin to make people see things in a more frightening way that really are illusions. So often when we know what we want to accomplish, some fear colors and skews the reality of things. That we don't need to be as afraid of things as we might think. Okay, this was. Now, say that you want to try something new, and it's fear could hold you back. You could fall flat on your face. So, real quickly, this is a brief chapter from the Schaefer saga. Maybe I've talked about this particular story before, but I got hired for my first teaching job in Oregon, and my boss told me that I was also the drama teacher. And he asked if I'd ever done that before, and no, never been on stage. I haven't been to plays and had liked them, but so he said that I needed to come up with maybe write one. So in the end, after being there 5 years, I ended up writing the first one I adapted. The other 4 I wrote original plays, directed them, and put them on in a very small school out in Oregon, and ended up being probably one of my definite professional highlights in my whole life. But there could have been fear there because I didn't know anything about that. I could have fallen flat on my face. So I hope that if you have a big rock, don't let fear and these little shadows that aren't there hold you back, because you could be missing out on a pretty fun experience, which I ended up having. As Wayne Gretzky told us, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. So just remember that, okay? If you just stand on the sidelines of life all the time, you're never going to take that shot. So sometimes you have to take your shot. Okay. What does Sean Covey say about the next thing? Okay. So we went from fear, right, to knowing that even if you put yourself out there and run a race, and this looks like a steeplechase, you will fail. Okay. And that's happened to me. It's happened to everybody. So even when you get over your fears, you're going to have failure. Like this gentleman. You know who that guy is? That would be one George Herman Ruth, more popularly known as Babe Ruth, who struck out 1,330 times in his major league career, which is a very high number. He hit a lot of home runs too, but had his share of failure. That gentleman with the beautiful hair is, as you probably know, Albert Einstein, who didn't speak at all until he was 4 years old. And I remember another quote I saw about him somewhere was, an elementary teacher said that something along the lines of he wouldn't amount to much. Just a second, bud. And that dude with the beard, Abe Lincoln, lost several elections, 7 to be exact, before he turned 50, wasn't an overnight political success. And we all know that those guys went on to do good things, okay? So you're going to get knocked down in life, okay? And the courage zone, hey, if you know what your priorities are, you stick to them. You focus on that end in mind, habit 2. Okay. And small failures, maybe even several small failures, maybe even a big failure or 2, doesn't mean that you should lose sight of who you want to be. Okay. Last thing to talk about today is peer pressure. What if the thing that you want to do, your big rock, is not cool, whatever that means, right? Based on your social group. Okay. So if you're feeling peer pressure to maybe even not do something, hey, you want to join the drama department? You want to try out for soccer? You want to talk to that weird kid over there? Why? You can just. I'm just talking to a video, but you want to come see? So I wonder. Think about the thing that they're trying to get you to do. Why does it make you uncomfortable? Okay. If they're trying to get you to smoke or go to a party or sneak out, it's probably because it's against who you are, your core values. Okay. And then why do you want to do it? What's the point? Is it all about being cool? If it's just to fit in, that's not a very good reason to do something. Okay. It should fit into your priorities on who you are. So don't let peer pressure hold you back. Okay. So fear, you have to make a leap of faith sometimes. We also have, what else did we talk about? Failures, when they do happen, getting back up and not letting other people, even if they're your friends, dictate where you want to go. Okay. Let's move our faces around here so we're not blocking those lions. All right, bud? Why? Because we have to show them these quotes. So this is just something to think about as you are focusing on your big rocks and you're interacting with people. We talked about in middle school that's pretty important, your friend group. So surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. Look at that Pride Alliance. See that, soy boy? Yeah. Hey, you see those guys right there? Those guys are united in purpose. They're going to go accomplish great things for sure. And this other side, if you lie down with dogs, you will get up with fleas. Don't push the button quite yet. Meaning that sometimes if you surround yourself with folks that are not really part of what you want to do or where you want to go or who you want to be as a person, they're going to impact you. Okay. If you think, Well, they're going to do that, but I won't. Eventually, they'll have an impact on you. Okay, push this button right here. We only have one more slide, I think. Okay, quote to end on today. I want you to know that you got to be in your courage zone sometimes. Sometimes the courage zone is also doing things that are not just difficult or scary, but just boring, possibly. All successful people in life have the habit, talking about our habits, things you do repeatedly, right? That's what Pod this whole year is about for you guys as sixth graders. All successful people have the habit of doing the things failures don't like to do. Okay? They don't necessarily like doing them either. Their homework, their chores, that extra 100 shots in the basketball gym, that little bit of extra dribbling on the soccer field, 30 minutes of extra practice on the trumpet. Not that they always want to do that, but their disliking of the thing is subordinated, meaning it's pushed down by the strength of their purpose, what they want to do, who they want to be, what they want to accomplish in life. Okay. So just remember, as you've identified in the first half of habit 3, what are your big rocks? You got to be also in your courage zone and make sure that you're getting those things done. They're going to take you on the path you want to be. Okay. So thanks for listening today. Soy Boy, you want to say bye? Say bye bye. Bye. Okay. Let's turn this thing off. Tell them Merry Christmas. Can you say Merry Christmas? No?
Yeah.
Say have a good night.